Good evening, everyone. My name is Ewade, and you're welcome to this live section called Grow Global. I assure you that this is going to be a very, very good experience for everyone that is here. And we have wonderful and wonderful speakers that are very, very loaded to give us their own knowledge and their wisdom. I have here with us um, Oludayo Adeniyi, I have Emeka Ebeniro, and I have Bolaji Babalola. Thank you. So, okay, so now we'll be bringing up Oludayo Adeniyi up to come and speak with us on results and performance. So, Oludayo is fondly called Abundance Queen. She's a thought leader who provokes people to change, an author, a certified results and performance coach, a certified professional scrum master, a chartered human resource professional, and a knowledge broker with Tony Robbins and Dan Grazios. She's passionate about helping professionals and entrepreneurs attract wealth and abundance effortlessly, and they can achieve their definition of success. She has been privileged to work with hundreds of people across the globe. She has been featured on different media platforms, including but not limited to Inside Business Area, Insight Radio, Site People, Women Connect Blog, Nation Newspaper, Brown TV, MITV, Power Africa, and many more. She was recently recognized in the LinkedIn directory of 2,000 plus women who inspired through their work in the United Kingdom. She is a fibroid survivor, using her story to impact other women with the same condition. Oludayo enjoys reading, watching movies, and dancing. Please join me as I welcome Oludayo to come and speak with us. Okay.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Um, I hope I'm clear and audible enough. I I want to welcome you to the Startup Conference for 2023, and we've waited this long to have this. I'm excited, and I know that a lot of people will find light. They will find enlightenment, and they will be equipped because one of the reasons we created the Startup Conference is so that business owners, African businesses, can be equipped and empowered, to do more and to create opportunities. And this year, our theme is Grow Global, building brands that transcend borders, brands that go beyond your physical location. Because one of the things I know now is the world is a global village. Quite a number of us would have heard that. The world is a global village, which means that you can be here and you can make a difference in another continent, right? So tonight, I'm going to be speaking to you about a couple of things. I'm just going to pick some points and share with you. I'm going to do this in 30 minutes so that our speakers will come up. I really want them to pour themselves into you because while I was preparing for this, while I was planning this, I had you guys at the back of my mind, and we carefully selected the speakers, right? We didn't just go all out just in the name of just having speakers to come and speak to us. So we carefully selected them, right? So tonight, wherever you're watching us from, please just drop a comment, your name, your city, where you're watching us from Lagos, from Abuja, from Nairobi, Kenya, from Accra, Ghana, wherever you're watching us from, please drop your comment, right? I think currently we are not live on Instagram yet, but I'm sure that will be sorted immediately after my session. So we have 3 sessions tonight. Oludayo, actually, Ewa, I read the profile for Oludayo. Oludayo is coming after me. I'm taking the first session, then she will come next after me. She's loaded. I know her. It's been a couple of years. I've listened to her over time, and I know how loaded she is. So I will get out of your sight so that she can have enough time to pour into you. And I'm sure at the end of all of this, you're going to send me mails and thank me. So let me start tonight by saying that let's talk about sales before I go ahead. I've heard a lot of entrepreneurs say to me that I don't know how to sell. One of the things I want you to know is that everybody sells, right? Everybody is selling something. Let me say that again. You're selling something. As a matter of fact, if you're married, that means you're a good salesman because you sold, as a man, you sold your vision to a woman, a vision that was not there as at that time, a vision that was not visible as at that time. You sold it to a woman and the woman bought it, right? The woman bought into it, which means that you were able to convince her to marry you. So that's sales. Everyone sells. Everyone sells. There's no way you can survive in this world without you selling. So it's important that we all note that. That's the first basis the foundation I want to lay, that everyone is selling something. Now, why you will believe that is this. I say this often and I want to say it again on this call, that our world is transactional in nature. Now, let me say that again. The planet on which we are is transactional in nature. I hope someone can help me write it on the screen there. Our planet is transactional in nature, and I'm going to explain that, which means that our planet thrives on value trade, right? It thrives on value trade, which means you give value to get value in return, and that's the basis of business. But we are coming there. So let's quickly explain this. The most identifiable example that we can connect with. Let me quickly share that. Plants. We were told that trees make use of carbon dioxide. They give out oxygen, right? Trees will not do well until they receive carbon dioxide and they release the oxygen. Human beings will not do well, man will not do well without oxygen. So man takes the oxygen and releases the carbon dioxide. You see that? So what we release is what they take. What they release is what we take. And if you look at the ecosystem, this is what's happening. The sky gives the water, the sun comes and evaporates the water, it goes back there, it pours it away, it goes back there. So it's transactional in nature. Everything around you, look at it. Everything is transacting, giving one thing to collect another, right? So the point where we miss it is if we are not sensitive to the fact that everything around us is transacting. Now, I say it often that if you don't know that there are transactions going around you, you will become the victim of the transactions. You will be sold instead of you selling. You will be sold. So a lot of people on the base of the ladder are being sold. But the people up the ladder, they understand that everything is about transaction. Right? You give value to get value. If you don't give value, you don't get value. But a lot of people, they do not even understand that concept, and all they want is to get value without thinking, what value do I give in return? The world in which we live is transactional in nature. If you do not have this mindset, there's no way you can survive, let alone transacting in another continent, right? So that's very important. We must note that. Another thing I want you to note before I go ahead is the fact that I really want you to get this. Once you get this, you've gotten everything. Opportunities do not sleep. Opportunities do not sleep. Opportunities do not sleep. Let me explain that. While we are 8 p.m. in Africa, in 2 hours' time, we are going to bed, right? Somewhere in the United States, right now as we speak, it's 2 p.m., right? Somewhere in the Middle East, it's 4 a.m. So there is never a time, listen to this carefully, there is never a time that 8 billion people on earth are sleeping at the same time. Never. It will never happen that everybody on the surface of this planet sleeping at the same time. It's not possible. This world cannot survive it. The planet in which we are cannot survive it because it's transactional in nature. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's transactional in nature. The world cannot survive without the transaction that goes on every day. So this is the point. If I'm going to bed here and they are waking up somewhere in North America or in South America, you know what that means? That means if I can pay the price to stay awake, I can trade, I can transact with them while they are during the day. Do you get what I'm saying? So opportunities do not sleep. Opportunities go round the clock. But people who are lazy to pay the price or who do not see the opportunity, who do not see that, they will not be able to plug into it. So let me say that again. While you're going to bed right now, while you're sleeping at night, some people are working. It's the day during in fact, they are just having lunch. So people sit here in Nigeria 2 a.m. and 3 a.m. and they transact with people in other nations, right? And they make money. So let me quickly go into my point because of time. Now, the first thing I want you to know is that every man has what we call core competence. Core competence. Now, you need to figure out what your own core competence is. Now, we could simplify that and say, what exactly are your strengths, right? What exactly are your strengths? What are you good at? What are you good at? And let me tell you the truth. Anything that you consider as a strength, please note this and write it down. Anything you consider as a strength is a weakness to someone else. And everybody pays to cover up for their weaknesses. What you consider is strength. Maybe you can teach children very well. You can teach children very well. They listen to you. Do you know it's not everybody that can teach children very well? It's not everybody that can be patient with kids. It's not everybody that have that time, right? Maybe that's your own strength. You could just speak their language and they hear you and they communicate with you and they are calm around you and they understand, they comprehend things around you, right? That's a strength. There's someone somewhere that has children but is looking for somebody like you that can do what she cannot do. So what you see as normal is not normal to someone else, and people will pay to have it. I was teaching a couple of people 2 days ago, some young people in business, some young entrepreneurs, and I was telling them that there are a few ways to make money. Let me quickly mention that before I go ahead, because this will help you if you're looking at businesses to do across the borders. Number one is if you save people time, people will pay you money. I'm not dwelling on this. I'm just going to explain some things. If you save people time, so once people do some things for 6-7 hours, but you find a way they can do it in 1 hour, people will pay you so that they can save 5 hours. You get what I'm talking about? There was a time ladies will go to the salon to do what do they call these things? Tiny braids, small braids, and they spend 7 hours and they will put it on for 1 month. You know what I'm talking about. They have the braids and they carry it for 30 days because it took them 8 hours to fix it. Now somebody somewhere came up and did wigs that are exactly like tiny braids, right? You just wear it in 5 minutes and you're done. Instead of 8 hours, instead of taking it for 30 days, you take it for just 2, 3, 4 hours. You're outside, you get back into your house and you put it off. So somebody has saved time. Another thing that people will pay you for is to save them effort. A lot of people, in fact, nobody wants to be stressed. Nobody wants to go through the hard labor. So when you find something that stresses people, look for a way you can make it easy for them. People will pay you for it, right? Another thing is to help people save relationships. And when I talk about relationship, I'm not just talking about boy-girl relationship. No. For instance, let's look at a school. There are relationships in a school, the proprietor or the proprietress with the staff, with the pupils or the students, with the parents. There are 4 levels of relationships there. So you might be gifted in a way, or you have a skill, you have training, you have materials you could give to them to help them maintain these relationships. They're going to pay you for it, right? What I do also is to help business owners maintain good relationship with their customers or to attract them. That's what we're talking about. And if it's boy-girl relationship also, people will pay you for that. You know that a lot of people these days, what they do is just do what they call surprise party. They just feel like I can organize the party for you and make your wife or your spouse or your boyfriend and girlfriend feel valuable, important, right? So that's very important. So number one, figure out what your core competence is or what your core competencies are. Whatever you see as a strength to you is a weakness to someone else. It could be next city, it could be next country, it could be the next continent, anywhere in the world. Okay, I think I'm back. Thank you. My internet switched off there. Okay. So what I was saying is the fact that whatever you see as your strength is a weakness to somebody. It could be the next door, it could be the next town, it could be the next city, it could be the next country, it could be the next continent. Someone somewhere needs what you can do. So figure out what your core competencies are. Number two is what are the problems that your core competence can solve. So you can tell me that your core competence is you can speak, you can write very well, right? So just writing is not what brings in money. What can you write? What problem does it solve? Is it business proposal? Is it books you want to write? You want people to write? What problem do you solve across the border? What problem? There are people that are solving payment problem, right? You want to pay now, you have to go look for Paystack, right? Because people realize that paying across borders could be difficult, so they solve the problem. Some people are solving delivery problem. Some people are solving investment problem. Some people are solving media problems. Some people are solving designs and branding problem. So what problem will your core competence, your skill, your strength, what problem will it solve? That's what you should figure out. So you need to write it out, list it out, figure out what exactly your core competence, the problem it will solve, and who needs it. After figuring out the problem, you need to highlight the people who need it, because it's not everybody that will place value on what you can do, right? So you can write business proposals very well, you can manage social media very well, you can create content very well, you can edit video. It's not everybody that will attach value to that. So figure out your core competencies, figure out the problems that you're going to solve. And number three is, what are the leverages you have? What are the leverages you have? This is very important, right? For me, for instance, I have people almost everywhere, all the planets, So a couple of days ago, a couple of weeks ago, we were supposed to do something and we had to contact someone in an European nation to make inquiry about it and how she could just get it done for a client of hers. And, if it works out fine, then we get paid for doing that, right? So that's what we are talking about. Look for your leverages. Now, your leverages could be people, your leverage could be location, your leverage could be resources, your leverage could be qualification. When I talk about qualification, I'm talking about skills. It could be some certain things, like I said earlier, your strength or people that you have. Now, the interesting thing is there are some things you find as weaknesses, but someone else finds it as ease or as strength. You could leverage on such person to achieve something. Dr. Bonking, we always say, don't ever say no to a proposal or a proposition. Even if you can't do it, figure out who can do it. Let the person get it done. You get paid and you pay the person, right? So it's very important that you figure out these things. Number one, find out your core competencies. I'm very considerate of time. Your core competencies, your strengths, figure them out. As I said, your strengths that you think they are just normal things, right? They are weaknesses to someone else. You can drive well. Oh, yeah. You can think very well. You can write very well. You can talk very well. You can dress very well. These are skills. They are strengths that they are weaknesses to some other people. Have you heard about wardrobe managers before? And you don't need to be in the city. You don't need to be in the location wherever the person is, right? You can be a lifestyle manager to some influential people, right? So figure out your strength. Number two is, what problem exactly will those strengths solve? What problem exactly will they solve? And number three is, what are your leverages? Look for your leverages. I said earlier, it could be people, it could be location, it could be places, it could be qualification, it could be, I wanted to talk about how to market yourself, because you market yourself to different kind of people. The way you sell yourself to someone in Lagos is not the same way you sell yourself to someone in Tunis, right? So it's very important, but because of time, I might not be able to do this. I'm coming back again tomorrow, but tonight I have two amazing guys, two amazing people, actually, a woman and a man. Amazing guys. I really want you to listen to these people. Really, I'm going to be back here tomorrow, but don't forget what I said today. Our nation, our world, our planet survives on transaction. There will never be a time 8 billion of us we are sleeping at the same time, because this world will never survive it. It cannot survive it, right? So God strategically made it in a way where, while you are waking up somewhere, some people are going to bed, because you have to keep the transaction running. The transaction just keeps running. The world is transactional in nature. If you are not sensitive to the transactions that go around you, right, you know what will happen to you? You will be sold. You will become the victim of transactions. And the people that are the victim of transactions, you know where they end? They end at the base, right? At the base of the ladder. I think I still have like 10 minutes, so I can still... Oh, beautiful. I still have like 10 minutes. So let me quickly talk about how to market yourself, right? This is one of my evergreen teaching. So let me quickly do this in 5-6 minutes. Then we'll play some music. Then the next speaker is going to come up, right? So number one, someone says to me, how do I market myself? Number one is, who am I? Who am I? Who exactly are you? This answers the question of personality. You need to ask yourself, who exactly am I? What am I made of? What's my person? What's my personality? And this is what you can answer for yourself, right? No one else can define you like that. You've got to be able to define yourself. You've got to be able to find yourself. Who exactly am I? What's my core? What am I made of? What drives me, right? These are things you should figure out for yourself. And in your closet, a lot of people are so distracted. We live in a world that is so noisy that only people that can stay concentrated, undistracted, that cannot be distracted in a noisy world, that will be successful. And that's the truth. Because look at it, look around you, there are a lot of things calling for attention right now. As I've been on this call right now, just 30 minutes, I've gotten several notifications from Twitter, popped up on my phone, from Instagram, popped up on my phone, from Facebook, from WhatsApp, from all social media platforms. They've been popping up since. So a lot of time we get distracted with things like this, right? And that's why I teach people the Eisenhower matrix. There's something we call Eisenhower matrix, which means there are four columns there. Number one is there are some things that are important, but they are not urgent. There are some things that are urgent, they are not important. Some things are not important, they are not urgent. Don't even waste your time on it, right? And the third is there are some things that are not urgent, they are not important. They are important, they are urgent. So the four, so you must be able to figure out how managing your resources, how to do that. So number one, don't let me divert. Number one is who exactly I am high. This answers the question of personality. Number two is what can I do? What exactly can I do? What exactly am I good at? This answers the question of ability, the questions of competence, the question of confidence, right? Because one of the things I know is that you build your confidence through competence, right? You know there are some certain things, if they wake you up right now, you can do them with ease. You are very confident when it comes to things like that. But when you start doubting yourself, your confidence erodes, right? So it's important. So the first, who am I? The second is what exactly can I do? You can never market yourself to someone if you cannot tell what you can do. It answers the questions of ability. Number three is what have I done? What have I done before? What have I done before? This answers the question of responsibility. Listen carefully. Nobody wants to sign a contract with somebody who hasn't done anything. So I tell people, a lot of people speak to me, how do I get people to invest into my business? I say, start something. Start something. Let me give you an example. And this has stuck with me for years. Two people standing by the side of the road and they have loads. One is struggling and striving to carry the load. The other one is just sitting down on the chair and looking at the load. The load, quiet, we agree. The bag is heavy. But one was striving and striving, trying to drag, trying to carry, trying to back, do something to just move the load. The other wasn't doing anything. He was just sitting down, just staring at the load. And a man was walking by. You tell me, who do you think the man will help? Is he not the one striving, trying to do something? So a lot of people want people to invest into their business and they've not invested in it themselves. They say, I don't have money, but for crying out loud, you have time. You have the skill. Invest into it first. People would support what they see that is working instead of supporting something that is starting, except they are your family members, right? And they just believe in you. You get what I'm talking about. So what have you done? What have you done? You want to sell an idea to people, you must be able to project to them, oh, I've done this with the little resources we have, we've been able to achieve this and all that. That's what will make people support or buy into whatever it is you do. Number four is what am I doing currently? Your core competence, your expertise. What exactly am I doing? A lot of people fold their hands and they keep saying that I don't have resources yet. That's why I've not started. I don't have this yet. I've not started. For crying out loud, you've got to start. What are you doing now? The world is run by busy people. Look around you. Busy people run everything. Idle people have nothing to do. So what am I doing right now? Number one, who am I? Number two, what can I do? Number three, what have I done? Number four, what am I doing? Number five, where have I been? That's why it's good to travel. That's why it's good to go for conferences. That's why it's good to attend meetings, to attend seminars, to meet people. Where exactly have I been? Because a lot of people, when you meet people far that have gone ahead of you, or people that even your contemporaries, they want to know what exactly have you done. And this answers the question of experience and exposure. Listen carefully. Those two things, they are very important. Experience and exposure, they can make you sell anything. Experience and exposure. It's good to travel. It's good to, don't think it's a waste of money when you have the opportunity to travel. When you have to go for conferences, go for it, no matter how much you've got to pay. When you have to go for courses, go for it. It gives you exposure. It gives you a different insight, a different angle to life, right? Experience, exposure. Because by the time you speak to some people in the US or in the UK and you're trying to sell an idea to them, you think it's someone you're speaking to in Abeokuta or in Lagos. No, exposure and experience, very important. That's number five. Number six is who have I been with? I'm conscious of time. That's why I'm taking so much time to just, I'm not taking too much time to explain so much. So number six is who have I been with? Now you might say, who have I been with? What that it answers the question of mentorship and influence. Mentorship and influence. Listen carefully. There are some doors money will not open, but the name of your mentor or the name of those who have influence upon you will open. Right? People can say to you. That's why we have what do they call them right now in CVs? I've forgotten what referees. That's why we want to know who you've worked with, who you've been with, who you live with. That's why when you find important people, take pictures with them, ask them questions. Right? Don't just take picture and just package the picture well, put it on your page, let people know who they are to you, how they are to you, right? So it's very important. Who have you been with? It answers the question of influence and mentorship. So someone might say, if so person influences this guy, then we should be able to vouch for him, right? We should be able to vouch for him. So let's see what we can do with him. That's very important. And number 7 is, what do I intend to do? And this answers the question of ambition. Ambition. Quite a lot of people do not have ambition, and they want to sell things. They want to build brands that go beyond their locality, right? Ambition is important. So that answers the question of, what do I intend to do? There must always be, no matter what you are doing, there must always be something else you want to do, because when the reward for success is more work, right? That's just it. You achieve something right now, don't sit and fold your hand on that. You must look up to something else to do, because when we were traveling, when we were younger, we sit in the car and we look ahead of the road. It looks like there's a stream down somewhere. When you get there, you look again, it seems the stream has moved from where you are. That's how life should be. When you achieve one thing, then see something else you can achieve. The day you come to a point and you feel like you've achieved everything that can be achieved on earth, then that means you are only occupying space here. You're not living anymore. So it's very important. And I've mentioned the 7. Number 1 is, who am I? Number 2 is, what can I do? Number 3 is, what have I done before? Number 4 is, what am I doing? Number 5 is, where have I been? Number 6 is, who have I been with? And number 7 is, what do I intend to do? So let me give you these 5 things, and I'll go. Pay attention to these 5 things. Pay attention to these 5 things. They will open doors for you. They will connect you to people. They will just help your brand. Number 1 is your content. Content is important. Content is very, very important. Content is important because you will be regarded as a wise man until you open your mouth. If you open your mouth, whatever you say will define you. It's either they say, oh, this guy is a fool, or they say, this guy is smart. Oh my God, I can see my pastor on this call. Thank you so much, sir. This is amazing. All right. So content is important. You must be able to say something that people will listen. I'm a believer, so let me quickly talk about this. Jesus was speaking, and there were professors there. Jesus was speaking at 12, and they said, oh my God, who is this boy? Where is he from? The Bible says when he speaks with authority. So you must develop your content. You must improve it. You must speak with authority in your field. That's number 1. Number 2 is your charisma. Listen carefully. Don't let people tell you, you know what I mean? For those who do not understand Yoruba, they tell you that your vibes, your efficacy is too much, Listen carefully. Charisma is important. It represents grace. You must carry yourself well. You enter into a place, even before you talk, your aura must go ahead of you. You enter into a place and people, there is a way you dress, and somebody gets there and says, excuse me, you work here? I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. They get into somewhere. I don't want to sound like I'm degrading some kind of jobs, but they get into a place where you do not even work, but because you're dressed like someone who is just a messenger, so they call you and they say, then you're now saying, oh, sorry, I came to buy something. So, oh, sorry, but there's a way you can dress. Don't ever say, oh, I'm just going down the street, I'm just going down the road. Dress. You don't know who you're going to meet. One day I just went to the gate of my estate, and a man walked up to me, parked his car, and he walked up to me. Thank God I was not badly dressed. It was just a walk. I just walked down to the gate of my estate, and he said, oh, I've been following you. You did a training, so a virtual training, and I attended. I was blessed, blah, blah, blah. In fact, he ordered for my book right there. He sent me the money right there. He said he would pick up the book the following day, which he did. He came to my house to pick it up. So assuming I was just wearing something, he will look at me and feel like, oh, so this guy just deceives us on internet every time. So your charisma is important. Let it represent grace. Let people see and they can trust you with more money, right? There are some people, if they appear in your office, you say to them, I can't trust them with 10 million naira. This guy, it doesn't look like somebody that can handle it, right? Number 3 is your packaging, which also comes from what I just said. Your packaging, the way you talk, the way you walk, don't drag feet on the floor. The things you wear, how you smell is important. Even Jesus was given birth to, and they gave him a perfume, which is very important. So dress well, smell well, talk well. Number 5 is your confidence. Really, really. There's a way a fool will talk and people will believe him. A fool. He doesn't know what he's talking about, but the way he speaks, people will believe him. Confidence. Talk with confidence, right? Talk with confidence. Even if you don't know what they're asking you about, say with confidence that you don't even know it, but you can figure things out. Just be confident about yourself. Don't let experiences define you, right? Don't let circumstances define you, right? And number 5 is engagement. Engage with people, engage with strangers. The money you need is in the hand of strangers. Engage with people. All this one, I don't talk, I don't listen. Successful people are not shy people. You can't be a good salesman if you're a shy person, right? So in 40 minutes, I think I've been able to do a whole lot. I don't have so much time tonight, but tomorrow I'm going to be here again for another few minutes to share with us. And tonight, like I said, Oludayo Adeni is coming up after me. That woman is the bomb. And after him, we have the brand expert. Oh my God, Emeka Ebeniro, we call him Fire. You know what I mean? When you hear fire, you know what fire does now, right? So I don't want you to go anywhere. Stay glued. You're going to be blessed tonight, and it's going to be amazing. Thank you very much. My name is Bolaji Babalola, and I'm the host of the Startup Conference. We are going to be here again tomorrow, 7 p.m. But don't go tonight. Follow us, and you can always have all this on your YouTube. Some of them have their product, which they will be introducing to us, but I can vouch for them. They are not just taking your money. I'm sure the book, whatever book they offer you, or whatever video, audio they offer you, you're going to thank me later, right? So thank you guys. How are you guys? All right, am I still on? While am I still on?
Yeah, thank you so much, Bolaji Babala. That was a very, very impactful section, and I'm very sure that we all have learned one or two things from that section. So now we'll be having Oludayo Adeni very soon to come and speak to us. Yeah, sorry. So I read a profile earlier. So all right, we have Oludayo Adeni right here in the studio. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. I am super excited to be here today. That was a master class. If you agree with me that was a master class, just just drop some fires in the chat box. Let me know that you're live here with me. Drop some fires in the chat box. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Balaji, for that powerful session. And I'm really, really excited to be here today. I'm so honored to be given the opportunity to be here today. And I thank the organizers of this program. And I must say to you that you're here today, that you're in for the time of your life. You're going to be in for the time of your life. I'm excited. Well, my name is Oludayo Adeni. I'm popularly called the Abundance Queen. Because I believe that everybody deserves abundance and shouldn't settle for less. I help professionals attract wealth and abundance with ease so that they can achieve their definition of success. And it's a pleasure for me to be here today. And I'm going to be talking about the topic, becoming a global brand. Becoming a global brand. And we're talking about the team Grow Global. So I'm going to be laying some foundation because there are some things that are very important for everyone who desires to be a global brand. Behind every brand, there is a face, there is a product, there are services, there are things that are unique about brands. So we need to understand, what does it really mean for me to be a global brand? And I'm sure that if you're sitting down, if you're listening here today, there are some brands that you admire. And those brands that you admire, you don't just admire them because you just want to admire them. There is a contribution that they are bringing and they are offering to the world, and you admire them for their contribution. So if you are listening here today and you're looking at becoming a global brand, it means that you also have to offer something that they have that is unique to you, that you can present to the world. So what is happening right now when we talk about growing global is the fact that it is not an option anymore. It is a necessity. We had COVID, and COVID, disrupted a lot of things. Now we are in an era where everything is changing. We're in the technological world. Now people can work from home remotely. Now you can be in this country and you are open to a population of 7 billion people that you can access through your Facebook, through your Instagram, through the social media platforms. So the world has become, a small entity, but it has presented to you abundance. It has presented to you abundance. So right now, there is no limit. Right now, there is nothing that can stop you from being the best version of you that you truly want to be. And I'll drop this. Don't settle for less than you desire. The world is your stage, and you are the lead actor. Don't become an extra in your own movie. You see, what is happening right now is you cannot afford to settle for less. Whether you are in Nigeria or you have jackpot or wherever it is that you are, you can't be a global, global brand that is actually impacting the world. So right now, I want you to understand that you have everything that you need for you to be that global brand that you want to be. And one of the great things you have to understand about being a global brand is that for people who desire to grow global, what it does for you is that it opens the door for more impact, for more influence, and for more income for you. That is what it does for you. Before, if you are someone that is limited to only Nigeria, right now you have no limitations. And this affects both employees, people in paid employment, and people also in business. For those that are in paid employment and you're looking at, starting your own brand, or you are not even looking forward to that, you are a brand in itself. Right now, everyone is a brand. We have personal brands, and personal brands are now transitioning into, corporate brands, and they are taking over the world. So it is important that you understand this from wherever it is that you are functioning about. I'm not going to be limiting this to just organizations alone, because for me, I am a brand. I am a brand. Oludayo Adeni is a brand. Abundance Queen, that is a brand. And I am representing something, and I am giving value. I spread abundance wherever I go, in whatever way that I can. That is my brand. That is what my company projects. So for you as a person, anywhere you are, you need to understand that you are a brand. You need to understand that whether as a company or as an individual, you are a brand, and what you need to represent at every point in time is value that can help you grow your impact, grow your relevance, and grow your income. This is very, very, very important. So you can be living in Songwater and you can be working for a global organization. You can be working in Songwater and you can be working for a global organization. I was told about a guy who lives in Songo and he works for a multinational and is earning in dollars, thousands of dollars. And you know what? If you look at the social media world right now, you see our fufu of all foods. You know, we will say fufu smells, fufu stinks. You know, our fufu has become a global product. It has become a global meal that even people across the world are proud to be associated with our fufu. They are proud to be associated with our egusi. They are proud to be associated with our efo. So that means that people that are in this business line are no longer restricted to just selling to somebody in the corner of their house. They can start thinking about how to expand and ship whatever it is they are offering to the world. I am using this example so that we can understand that no matter who you are, no matter where you are a brand. And I'm going to be sharing with you how you can position yourself to be able to have relevance, because if there's anything we are looking for here, everyone wants to be relevant, because we are the salt of the world. We are the light of the world. You know, we are a city that is set upon the hill and we cannot be hidden. That is something. So we are a brand. That is what we have been created for. So it is important that you understand this and you don't restrict yourself because of the location or wherever that you are in. And I want you to have this at the back of your mind, that as a brand, I have access to 7 billion people. Kai, did you get that? I have access to impact, to influence 7 billion people across the world. A world without limits, so much abundance brought before me. You need to understand that this is important. I'm going to be talking about 3 leverages that you need to harness, you know, becoming a global brand. And I'll talk about the first leverage, which is the leverage of your mind. You see something, whatever your mind cannot conceive, you cannot achieve. As much as we talk about going global, as much as we talk about grow global, as much as we talk about that, there are some fundamentals that if they are not in place, you will just be working and you will not achieve any result. You know, most of the time, because of the way we have grown up, because of the things that we have been taught to work so hard. We have been taught, go to school, get a good grade so you can get a good job. We focus and we believe so much in hard work. We believe so much that it has to be difficult. We believe so much that things must just be tough. Do you get it? We believe, and that has programmed a lot of us to thinking and to living life such that every day it is full of stress. It is full of hustling. It is full of a whole lot of other things that accompany it, and man is not even happy with all of this. So one thing that you need to understand is this, that when you understand the power of your mind, when you can harness the power of your mind, because this is the most powerful resource that you have been given. Your mind is powerful. You know, I read something and it says that the energy that a human being carries, one person can lighten the whole city. Did you get that? It can lighten a whole city. That is to show you the power that you carry as a human being, the carry that is bestowed upon you. So if you understand how your mind works, then it will help you be able to harness this tremendous power that is in there that can help you build the kind of brand, live the kind of quality of life that you truly desire. You see, one fundamental thing about the mind is this, and about success, is that success is 95% psychological, 5% your strategy or your skills. You know, so many people focus on effort, we focus on planning, we leave the 95%. If you must become a global brand, if the whole world must partake of the influence and the power that you carry, then you must understand that you have to birth it. Just the same way a woman goes into labor and carries that pregnancy for 9 months and then gives birth, you have to carry that vision. You have to birth it first. You see, everything that must be created on the external must first be created in the internal. You live from inside out. And what am I trying to say? You want to become a global brand. You want to reach the world. You want to be able to influence the world. It must be a vision that you carry. You must have a global vision. A global vision, that is what you must carry. You cannot afford to have a vision that is limiting. You cannot afford to have a vision of just, let me just manage. And you know some of those things, those limiting beliefs, as long as you are okay, you are fine, just be managing this. At least you have shelter over your head. You have all of those mindsets that we have taken in that has become, a stronghold. Let me put it like that. They have become limiting and they have become disempowering, holding you back from launching, holding you back from pushing into the things that you desire, and you cannot even aim for anything. You are just there wondering that everything will come to you. Let me explain to you. Global brands are not victims. Global brands are not victims. Global brands are people that possess an abundance mindset. You must have an abundance mindset. An abundance mindset is just that mindset that tells you that everything is available. It shows you that there is enough in the world for you. There is enough for you to go global. There is enough resources for you to accomplish your dreams. There is enough available for you. You are not competing with anybody. It is a scarcity mindset that tells you that you have to struggle for things, which is what most people do. That is what we have. For you to get something, you have to struggle for it. For you to get something, somebody's own must be destroyed before another person's own will be okay. No, global brands are people with abundance mindset, and they understand that there is enough for them to be all that they want to be. They just only need to want it. So my first question to you today is, do you truly desire to be a global brand? Do you have that vision to be a global brand? If you don't have it, you can decide now on this call that I want to go global. Because you cannot be restricted. The only limitations that you can have in your life is the limitation that you have set for yourself. And if you decide today that you are going to be a global brand, there is a vision that you have to carry. You carry this vision, you write it down. He says, write it down, that he may run that reads it. Write down the vision. I have my own vision that I've written down. I have my vision board. I have written it down. I don't know how it will happen. Most of the time, the reason why we don't dream is because we don't know how it will happen. You are afraid. I can't do it. What if it does not happen? Let me explain something to you. A farmer has a seed. A farmer will sow his seed. The farmer doesn't even know how the seeds will grow. But the farmer will sow the seed, and he will believe that, the laws, the universe, whatever factors are there, will make that seed grow. So the fact that the farmer does not know how the seed will grow does not stop the farmer from dreaming, does not stop the farmer from putting in all his own effort to make sure that he plants the seed. So your own job is to dream. I say to people, when you begin to think about, how it will happen, what you are doing basically is that you are taking over a job that is above your pay grade. You are taking over a job that you don't even have the skill and the competence for. You cannot determine how it will happen, but one thing I can say to you is that it will happen. When I was in my 9 to 5, majority of what I knew was, my being a career person. I never even knew that I could run a business. I was just a career person. I just wanted to face that line, and I was doing amazingly well for people. I was even running an organization. I was managing over 5,000 people. I was the chief operating officer, the next person to the MD. But you know something? I never thought that I would, I never thought that I could run a business. So I'm always there supporting, pushing. People even thought that I was the one that was the owner of the business. But one thing that happened for me was I didn't imagine that I could start running my business like this. I just felt I was just going to do 9 to 5 forever. But one day I became dissatisfied. And I was wondering what was causing. I became restless. I was wondering what was happening. And then one day it happened. I had to leave my job. But you know one thing? I left my job. It was a mysterious event. It was like a movie of what happened. And I left my job. But do you know what? The situation that surrounded my job, that me leaving, gave me the boldness that I can do this. The two things that I left with when I was living at that time was the fact that I was going with all the skills that I had. I was going to somewhere. It wasn't like I had started another business. I even shut down a business that I started that December before I exited. But one major thing that was there for me was my mind. I knew something that I can never be poor. I knew something that I had so much in my inside to offer the world. I may not know how it was going to happen, but I embraced that change. And today, 5 years down the line, I'm grateful that I am here. I have been able to build a brand for myself, and I am still building a brand, So what am I trying to say to you? Your mind is powerful. You know what? When I had the mindset that I could not do it, I was the only person limiting myself. But when I decided that I can do it, then I launched out. And I am doing it, and I am getting better. So I want to say to you, I don't know what has been said about you. I don't know what you have believed about yourself. But let me say something. Don't let other people's opinion define who you are. You are created in the image of God, and you are a co-creator with God. He has given you the power to create the life that you truly desire. So if you desire to become a global brand, and so it is you saying it, because you are I am. You need to understand, you are I am. He has given you that expression for you to be all that you need to be. You just need to believe and give yourself the permission to truly be a global brand. Give yourself the permission to truly be a global brand. Become obsessed. Become obsessed with that vision. Think about that vision. Become emotionally attached with that vision. There's a way when you become attached to something, there's a way it begins to give you ideas. You think, you feel, you act only in line with what you desire. What a lot of people do is that they think and feel about what they don't want. You see, do not allow the external to dictate your life. Do not allow the external to dictate for you who you will be. That is why I said, don't be an extra in your own movie. You are the actor here in this movie. So you decide it, and you can only do that when you can leverage the power of your mind. When you can let me explain something. The situation in the country is not big enough to stop you. It's not big enough because you decide your own economy. And that's what I was saying to you, that you need to understand that you are a brand. You need to understand that you are an asset. You need to understand that, out of the 7 billion people in the world, there's nobody like you. You are unique. And because you are unique, you have uniqueness to give to the world. Unless you look down on yourself. So become so obsessed with that vision. As you are living this call, do a vision board and put yourself on it as a global brand. Where do you want to go? Where do you want your brand to be? And let me explain something. I'm not talking about the Japa syndrome or the non-Japa syndrome. Let me explain something to you. Whether you Japa or you do not Japa, the most important thing is that you are relevant wherever you are going. You see, if you are not relevant here and you Japa, the truth about it is that you are still going to go there and be irrelevant. So even if you are going to Japa, ask yourself, what value am I going away with? What value? Am I going as a brand or am I going as a victim? You need to understand, because brands are kings, brands are queens. People look to them because they carry uniqueness, they carry power, they carry value. They are not escaping because they don't have a choice. They create the choices. Did you hear me? You create the choices. Abundance is about having choices. You are not a victim. There's so much for you in the world that is available for you. You need to understand it. And I'm emphasizing the fact that you need to have an abundance mindset. You need to visualize the kind of life that you want. You may take a model. There may be someone that you love, that you look up to. You can use that person as a model to envision where you want to be, because the human mind do not know what is real between what is real and what is not real. So you have the opportunity to implant into your mind the image that you desire. You have the responsibility to install into your mind the kind of life that you truly want to live. So it is your responsibility. If you feed your mind with thoughts of things that you do not want, what is going to happen to you? That you are going to be attracting the things that you do not want, because whether you like it or not, there are laws that govern the universe. Your understanding of this law will determine how you live as a queen or as a king. It is important that you understand there are laws. The same way when you drop something, you take something and you drop it, it drops. There is law of gravity. Whether you know there's law of gravity or not, it is a law that is to be obeyed. So it will definitely, happen. And the same thing happens. There are laws that governs the world. There are laws of attraction. Whatever you put out is what you attract. So if your mind is thinking about the things you do not want, what will happen for you is that you begin to draw to yourself the things that you do not want. You cannot want to be a global brand and you say, things are difficult. God will help us. So things will do this one. No, you are just there. You are not taking charge. You can't be a global brand like that. You need to take charge of your life. You need to understand that you are a co-creator. You need to understand that you are abundant. You need to know that everything is at your disposal and you can access them. And you begin to think about the things that you want and you begin to visualize them. You begin to become emotionally attached to them. That is how you create internally. The more you become emotionally attached to this thing, the more it determines your actions. You begin to act in line with the things that you feel, because your feelings determines your action, and your action determines the kind of result that you achieve. So when you're in that emotional vibration, what it does for you is that it attracts things that are on the frequency of the vibration that you are. That is why you cannot afford to surround yourself with negative emotions. That is why you cannot afford to just live life without being intentional. You have to be intentional, because every day you are creating. You are creating things into your life. You are bringing things into existence. So you have to ensure that you are creating things that align with the global vision that you have. So you cannot afford not to have an abundance mindset. Your mind is so powerful. Your mind is so powerful. So it is important that you build that vision into your mind. I didn't know how it was going to happen. When I came out, the first set of people I had encountered with were multimillionaires all over the world. And the kind of mindset that was instilled in me, man, it was powerful. So what am I saying? I didn't plan it, but here am I today. And this is me also impacting my world. People will listen to this from all over the world. Why? I am giving of my own source, because I know that I am a brand. I know that I have something to offer. And this will take me to the second point that I'm going to be talking about, which is also leverage your gifts and your talent. You see, everyone has a gift. There is no one that was created without nothing. Have you seen a king or a queen existing without no gift, existing without no value? It's not possible. That is not possible. You see, as a global brand, before you even became a global brand, you were already created as a co-creator, the architect of your life. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And as that state that you carry, and we say some things, but they have become like norms to us. They said nobody has your fingerprint. What does that say to you? That there's something unique about you. Some people will say, I don't have anything. I'm here to tell you that is a limiting belief. You have a gift. You have talent. You have skills. Do you understand? You have skills. You have talent. You have giftings. Intrinsic gifts that are even in your inside. The one that you have learned whilst you were working, or the ones you have picked up whilst you were in school. And with the way the world is right now, there is no gift that is useless. There is no gift. Before, during our own time, it was you have to be a doctor, you have to be a nurse, you have to be this, you have to be that. But right now, there is no such thing. You have people that are doing things that you can't even, there's a guy on social media, I've forgotten his name. He doesn't talk. He just does things. Just even when I first met him, I didn't even understand what the guy was doing on social media. I didn't even get the message he was communicating. But do you know that from the last post I read, if I'm right, I think the guy collects over, is it $720 something thousand per post for advert? He doesn't talk. I'm sure you guys know him. I've forgotten his name. The guy doesn't talk. Now you have different skills. You have different giftings that you have. that you can offer the world. The guy is a global entity as I speak to you. He's a global brand. For him to be paid that amount of money for just one post, he is using his gift. Your gift doesn't have to look like what every other person has. Because as we are in this world that we are in right now, everyone, the giftings are so special and they are so different and unique right now. Your own could be your voice. You have people that just have that voice and they use it for voiceovers, they use it for different things. You have people that, it is, they are writing, they write. You have people that, there's really nothing that is I saw someone that said they walk dogs. They walk dogs and they are earning so much. There is so much that you can do. And you know the interesting thing, even if you feel you don't have, you can learn. Even if you feel you don't have, because, value is what the global brands offer. That is the uniqueness, because what they put out to the world is value. They offer value to people. They offer services to people, and they are solving a problem. So what problem are you solving? What problem have you been called to solve? And you don't have to overthink it. You don't have to overthink it. Look at what are your skills? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What are your opportunities? What are your trends? What are the things you love? And sometimes it may not be what you love. For me as a person, I used to be a very strong introvert. When I'm talking, most people don't know. They'll say it's a lie, it's a lie. But I used to be a very strong introvert. I was really introverted. I was so introverted to a point that I couldn't speak English well. So I'm like, what? Yeah. I had to start learning English. Why? Because I was so shy. I didn't want to talk. I didn't want to do this. But can you imagine that thing that I hated? I cannot forget the first time I got on the stage. I wanted to speak. And I opened my mouth. And nothing came out. And people were laughing. They were making fun of me. They were just laughing. And I stood there. But the moment I got my voice back, I rained thunder in that place. But that same thing that I did not like is the gift that I am using right now to impact my world. And that gift, what global brands do is that they package the gift and they present it to people and they put a premium on it. They put a premium on that packaging that they have given. You said there is a law of compensation. I said something that if you understand the laws that govern the universe, you will live your life better. You see, the law of compensation says that the amount of money you make is directly proportional to the demand for the value that you have. The things that you offer, do people really need them? How many people have them? So that determines how much you earn. What also determines how much you earn is how well you are able to do it. You can do that thing so well, such that people see you as, wow, this person, when they're looking for the go-to person, go and meet this person. And they go to you. And he also says that you become indispensable. This does not mean that you are, you are competing with other people. But what it means is that in that area of your gifting, when they are looking for the top people to offer that service, it is you. And this is what determines how much you make. So imagine if you understand this rule. Imagine if you understand how this works, then what happens for you? You are able to package it and present it to the world. Money no longer becomes your problem. You just need to become a person of value. Then the last point I will talk about is leverage, association. You cannot, the people that you surround yourself with will determine how far you go. They determine who you are. They determine, the experiences that you have that can help you get to the next level. Get a coach, get a mentor. You ride on their experiences. You don't need to make the same mistakes that they have made. Who is that person in that area that you have identified that can help you, that you can work with, that can make your journey faster, that can make your journey quicker? Identify them and let them guide you. You just need to be wise. Say in a multitude of counsel, there is safety. You don't need to do these things yourself. You can work with the right people, leverage on their experience, leverage on their exposure, and this will help you be able to build the kind of brand. You won't make the same mistakes that they have made, but you are working with people that have gone ahead of you, people that can hold you by the hand and show you. You also ensure that you work with people that are going in the direction that you are going. Imagine you can't be going to Abuja and following somebody that is going to Lagos. Do you understand? You have to ensure that the quality of people you go work with are the people that are going in the same direction that you are going, people that have achieved the kind of result that you want, and they can hold you by the hand and help you get to where you want to get to. You see, the truth about it is this: you can be all that you want to be. If you must truly excel as a global brand, you must pay attention to the fundamentals. You must pay attention to the things that are key. And these three things are vital. On it, a whole lot of other things, rest on. If you can get the internal right, if you can get your foundation right, then you can build. If the foundation be faulty, what can the righteous do? So if you lay a good foundation for yourself and you are able to build on this foundation, what will happen to you is that what you will build, it will be an edifice that people will look at and they will wonder, wow, how did you do this? How did you achieve this? How did you get there? Those are the questions that people will ask you. But I just want you to know something, that you can be everything that you want to do. All you need to do is focus on these 3 L's. The leverages I've spoken about. Leverage your mind, leverage your gifts and talent, leverage that. There's this saying that a man's gift will make room for him. When you focus on your gifts and you become great at what you do, it will make room for you. Nobody can stop you, because I say to people, they can question you, they can query you, but let them not be able to fault your gifts. That's just it. It will open doors for you. I've seen situations where people don't even like me, but they open doors for me because of my gifts. Do you understand? So you are not seeking to be men pleasers. You are seeking to be the best at the gift that has been given to you, and doors will be open to you. And then surround yourself with the right people. And I assure you that nothing will be able to stop you from being the global brand that you truly desire. I want you to understand something, that abundance is your birthright. Do not settle for less. That is who you have been created for. And the global world is just the abundance that has been brought before you, for you to harness the opportunities, for you to harness all that is in it for you. So the world is waiting for you to showcase your all that you have. The world is waiting for you. Somebody is in need of what you carry. Somebody needs it, and somebody wants it bad enough. So if you are not showing up, you are not only failing yourself, but you are failing other people that are dependent on you, that are looking for that gift that has been deposited in your inside. So the world is waiting for you to express yourself. And if you want to know more about this, I spoke about the abundance mindset. I have a book called The Abundance Code. You can actually get it. The link will be somewhere later. You can get that book, and it will help you further understand how you as a brand, or how you as a corporate brand or as a personal brand can be able to build that abundance mindset. Because if you get your mind right, that is 95% of work done. Sometimes you may not even have the money in your pocket, you may not have all of those other things. But let me explain, when you have the right mindset, it will open doors for you for other things that you desire, because nothing will be able to stop you. I'm excited to be here today. Thank you so much for having me. And I look forward to celebrating all the global brands that are going to emanate from this event. I know that, amazing things are going to happen by virtue of this conference. And I know that it is your turn. And I know that the world is waiting for you. And I know that you have everything in you to actually be all that you want to be. So take that responsibility. Be the actor, the lead actor in your own movie. And don't be an extra. Don't compare yourself to another. Don't compete with anybody. Follow your lane. Focus on it. Become passionate about all that you want to do. And nothing will be able to stop you. Thank you so much for having me. Signing off right now is the Abundance Queen. Thank you so much to the organizers of this program.
right, thank you very much, Oludayo Adeniyi, for that powerful piece. And I'm very sure that everyone have learned one or two things, and we have jotted down everything that we've learned, and we're going to make use of it. Okay, so to be sure that we all listen, the points I jot down is that we should leverage our gifts and our talents, that global brands have an abundance mindset, and that no matter where you are a brand, and as a brand you have access to more than 7 million people, and you have to carry your vision. You live from inside out. You have a global vision. Okay, without wasting, we have our next speaker here, which is Emeka Ebeniro. Emeka Ebeniro is a business consultant, a personal branding and transformation specialist, and a speaker. He's an advocator, igniting the potential and gifts in people so they can do and be much more. He's a certified integrated marketing communications professional and a business consultant with over 13 years of experience in brand management, corporate communications, and organizational strategy. Emeka has trained over 1,000 creators, coaches, and leaders across 5 continents and helped them build powerful and profitable brands. Emeka is the convener of Professional Branding Summit, Africa's #1 global summit on professional branding. He has appeared on Inside Business Africa, Connect Nigeria, Hot FM, Echo FM, The Nations, Daily Independent, The Sun newspaper, and more. Emeka is a tech entrepreneur and founder of Kara Kuri, an idea and innovation company, the brains behind www.seatsoundticket.com, Nigeria's fastest growing ticketing and access platform. Before Seats and Tickets, Emeka was the group head, strategy and planning at TBWA Concepts, a leading marketing and communications agency in Nigeria. At TBWA, he worked on local and international brands like Stanbic IBTC, New Age, Globalcom, Society for Family Health, Nigerian Breweries, Swift Networks, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, and other brands. His mission is to help 1 million individuals and businesses maximize potential, increase visibility, and grow their income. Join me as I welcome Emeka Ebeniro.
Hey, how y'all doing? Hello, everyone. How's it going? I hope you guys can hear me clearly. It's been an amazing conference so far. It's really awesome to be here today. How's everyone doing? Please let me know. Let's do a small roll call. Let me know where you're joining us from in the comments. I'd like to see the chat pop in. Where are you joining us from? We'd like to know those that are our global audience. Would like to know you. So if you are in wherever you are in the world, please let us know in the comments. I think let's do that so we can connect with each other and know who is here and who is ready to grow global. I just want to start by saying thank you so much to Bolaji and the entire Startup Conference team for the opportunity to be here today. I really I'm grateful and I'm honored to be here in your midst. I also want to thank my amazing speakers. Oh, Thais from Dublin. I see my Dublin people, Kenya people are also here. Awesome. I also want to thank my amazing speakers. Bolaji did a fantastic job by starting the conference on a very high note. You know, he raised the bar. And Ludayo Adeni, the Abundance Queen, has done a fantastic job. Just cementing it and ensuring that we have the right mindset. And it's my job to now set up that building. It's now take it from the foundation and build set up the building, and that's what I'll be doing today. In case you're meeting me for the very first time, my name is Emeka Ebeniro. You rightly said. I am the convener and the host of the Personal Branding Summit, Africa's #1 global summit on personal branding. And personal branding is what I do on a day-to-day. It's my bread and butter amongst other things, but it's something that I'm truly passionate about. I'm truly, truly passionate about. And I hope I can share that same passion with you today. Amongst other things, I'm a brand person, tech entrepreneur, consultant, and the list goes on. But today, I'm going to be giving you a very simple framework, a very simple framework that you will use that would help you in building and really growing global. Okay, I hope you guys are ready. And sure you have your pen and paper because I'm going to go right into it. But before, while I'm going into it, I just wanted to share this. I don't know if you can relate to this, but there's something about last bonds that's really just amazing. Like, I have two children. The last born always is the information minister in the house. And I don't know if you can relate with that in your home, if you are the last born or the person that was the last child. They always have a way of becoming like the information ministers of the house. They are the ones that will tell you, oh, daddy, this person did this. Oh, mommy, this person did that. Oh, this happened and that happened and this happened and that happened. And there was this particular case not too long ago, and the last my last child came and he said, oh, daddy, his elder one, oh, just broke a plate again. And I'm like, what's going on? And I went to like, yo, what's happening now? What's happening? Are you okay? Why are you breaking? It's becoming too frequent. And he was like, oh, he's sorry that he was washing, he slipped off his hands and it fell and it broke and all that. And the side of me was upset because I'm like, bro, this is becoming a pattern. Like you just keep breaking plates and all that. Like, is it something you do for fun? And he was sorry and all that, but I was upset. I had to hold myself because I wanted to go out. Like, what is really going on? Like, this is not how it's supposed to be. Like, why are you doing this? Is it intentional? Are you upset? And a way of unleashing your anger is by breaking plates or not focusing on what you're doing. And thinking about it again after that, it hit me. And what hit me was, why was I upset? I was upset because he was breaking plates. I also upset that he was breaking plates. I was upset he was breaking plates because I remember when I was his age or when I was growing up, my mom and my elder ones were upset at me for breaking plates. And why did they do that? They did that because back then, breakable plates were the silverware, the chinaware, the valuables in the house. So if you're not from a very wealthy background, you know that they were plates and they are plates. So there's the plate for daddy and mommy, for the parents and the guest, and there's a plate for every other person. Now, when you break daddy and mommy's plates, parents' plates, and the guest plate, you know that you're in trouble. but then there are other types of wares that you can use. And it hit me that I was upset because it was transferred from one generation to the other. The same thing that my mom and my elder ones, faulted me for, I found myself faulting my son for. I found myself replaying and reliving that experience with him. I found myself being upset for things I shouldn't be upset for. And why did I do that? I did that because I have become, or I am, a product of an environment, of a doctrine, of a programming that is necessarily not beneficial to my growth or to where I'm going. But I did not know because it was already ingrained in my subconscious mind. In my mind, I thought I was doing the right thing, but I was wrong. And me being wrong meant that I did not give him the vote of confidence he needed so that he can build the trust in himself and do better next time. I was upset, forgetting that even in school, in science, you do what they call practical, which is doing several of the same experiment over and over and over again so that you have an enough sample size and you can now develop a hypothesis that yes, you can use to now become a theory. Or in marketing, you need to have a large sample size, survey enough people for you to be able to look at the data and discover a pattern or get more insight. I forgot that even in football, they do what they call preseason training and friendlies so that the players can become better and do well during the match. I forgot that is why we have enough assignments and tests so that when it comes to the exam, we will pass. I forgot that one of the most important things to do is to build trust. And in building trust, you need to have confidence because confidence makes you build trust in yourself and makes other people trust you enough to be able to deal or do business with you. People buy from people they trust. How can I trust you when you haven't trusted yourself? How can I do business with you when you haven't passed your own first test of confidence? Own first test of clarity. Your own first test of delivering quality or delivering high quality. You haven't passed it. Then how can somebody else trust you with their time, their money, their energy, and their resources? It's funny because when we talk about building a brand, one of the first things you need to know is you need to build trust. And the trust starts with you trusting yourself. And you trusting yourself has to come from you seeing and reflecting on your own results, and that will build confidence. I had to apologize to my son because I realized I was wrong. How can he know how to wash dishes properly if he hasn't washed dishes enough or broken enough plates to know that this is not the right way to go about it? How can he do chores enough when I don't give him the opportunities to make his own mistakes and learn from it? How can he build his confidence when every time he makes a mistake, I'm quick to go to him and hush him up and push him and tell him, move away, you don't know. And I'm like, no. But you find it that is what happens to each and every one of us. We are not growing at the rate we need to grow because people have hushed us enough. Our brands are not amplified the way they need to be amplified because we don't even trust ourselves to deliver what we know we are good enough to do. We forget that growth only truly comes when an external force hits an object, or in this case, when you are triggered by an external action. That is the only time you grow. I'll take that again. When you are triggered by an external force, that is the only time you grow. But the challenge is that external force can either be pain or gain. The pain of humiliation, the pain of losing a job, the pain of losing a relationship, the pain of losing a contract, the pain of being rejected can make you grow. But the other side of growth is the gain of being excellent at what you do. The gain of getting that contract, the gain of living a better life, the gain of having an amazing and abundant mindset, like the abundance queen talked about, the gain of living life on your own terms. That is the force that needs to be triggered inside of you that will make you grow. Now you are building a brand. You need to know what your triggers are. You are building a brand. You need to know what trust is. That trust is an important element in building a brand, because branding is trust. Building a brand is like having a relationship with your audience. And your audience is not just the people watching. The audience is even your family members. Everybody that comes in contact with you is your audience. So how are you gaining trust with them? I'm going to be sharing a few things. Time permits me. First of all, I talked about trust. Now, when you are growing global, remember I said growth comes by an external force. The next thing you need to do after you know how to build trust. Now, how do you build trust? You build trust by building in public. I take that again. You build trust by building in public. I can't trust you if I don't see you and know what you're up to. You realize that there are people in your life that you've not seen in a long time, but there are some people that you don't know them from Adam, as the case may be, but you see them all the time. You see their posts, you see who they're hanging out with, you see a lot of things about them, and you trust them. In Nigeria, we know about a very fantastic influencer. They call him the Kingmaker, Tunde Ednut. How many of us have met Tunde Ednut? But Tunde Ednut's birthday, every year, people kill cows in his name. Tunde Ednut's birthday, every year, people give out cars in his name. Tunde Ednut's birthday, every year, people cook and give it to the less privileged in his name. That is the highest level of trust. Why? He built his trust by building in public. That is the first thing you need to do. I did not give, or we haven't been given the opportunity to build in public, or we are even afraid to build in public, because like the case of my son, people would be upset, or they will judge you, or they will make you feel uncomfortable because you made a mistake. And that is why you're not building in public. That is the same formula that everybody that you know, you like, you trust, and you respect does. Tunde Ednut built his platform in public. When he got cut down by Instagram, he came back and he told you and I, please follow my new platform. That is building in public. Please encourage this person. That is building in public. This is what I'm doing. That is building in public. Elon Musk wanted to launch one version of his Tesla cars. And what did he do? He had it at the event. He brought so different people, from buyers to press people to different, all sorts of people. And he wanted to test, build in public, a car that was not ready. It was just in the beta stage. So if you see it, you like it, then you pre-order. Then when the car is ready, it's shipped or is delivered to your house. Building in public. And what did he do? They hit the car, they did so many things, they tested everything, and he went and he took a brick. He claimed that the glass cannot break. But see the essence of building in public, which helps you build your trust. The glass broke, and guess what? People, the haters, the critics laughed. But do you know what happened? Because he built in public, that car sold out even before one was released. Now, what are you doing? Are you building in public? Building in public helps you build trust. Trust is the currency of branding. You want to grow global, you need to first build trust. First with yourself, second with your audience. And with your audience, you need to build in public to build trust with your audience. The other thing you need to do, which is the very first thing, is trust. I've talked about that and how to build trust. You need to build your brand. Now, I'm going to be taking it from a different perspective. I don't know if you heard this before, but I'm going to be taking it from a different perspective. And I want you to understand that some of the things you are doing, you might be undermining yourself or sabotaging yourself, forgetting that that is your currency for growth. That is your visa for growth. That is your visa for borderlessness. That is your passport. For you to be borderless, for you to grow global, you need to build a brand that transcends all borders, dimensions, states, regions. And how do you do that? You do that in 5 ways or in 5 dimensions. I call them the 5 dimensions of branding. The very first dimension is the dimension of sight. So, like your 5 senses, that is how people come in contact with you. Sight. What do I see when I take a look at you? What comes to mind when I come in contact with you? And coming in contact with you isn't just seeing you in person. Like I said, you haven't seen Tunde Ednut. Some of us haven't seen Tunde Ednut in person. But when I come in contact with you, meaning when I consume your content, what do I see? So people see you before they see you. So they see your content before they see you. They judge you, have perceptions of you before they actually meet you in person. And I'm sure that's happened to you before. You must have heard this at work with your friends in your place of worship. They say, "Oh, I didn't know," or in school or back in the past, someone must have told you, "I didn't know you were like this." "Oh, I didn't know this type of tribe, this people from this race or this ethnicity are like that." Why? They had a perception of you. But because there was no opportunity for that to change, so before they saw you in person, they already saw you through your content. So how are you going to change the way you look? So starting from your physical appearance, what are your visual identifiers? What are the things you're going to use to separate yourself from every other person so that when they put you in the room, you stand out immediately? How are you going to develop your content in such a way that when people see, they say, "This is the person I want to do business with"? Now, one thing you need to understand, which Dio rightly touched on, is don't be carried away by the number of followers you do not have. No. Don't be carried away by the technology that you do not have. No. Don't be carried away by the things that you think that you do not have. The beautiful thing about building your brand is when you build in public, which I said earlier, they would love you, like you, and trust you. And when they trust you, they will do business with you. They would understand that you are starting a journey. They understand that you are trying to scale. They will understand your vulnerability, and that is why they love you. So you need to understand that in building your brand, people need to see you. They will see you first. So what are you showing them? When I see you, is it the same perception I have of you as somebody that can solve my problem? Battery charge. Is that the case? Is that the case? Or do you look different from what I have in my mind? So your sight is very important. Take it seriously. How you look, not just your physical self, which you should look good, but how you look. Your emails, how does it look? Your content, how does it look? And every other thing that people would see first. How does it look? Number 2, your sound. How do you sound? And when I'm talking about sound, I'm not only talking about your voice. In branding, not just your voice, but your brand voice. What is the tone of your language? What is the tone or the feeling of what you are communicating? That is your brand voice. When I hear from you, are you inspiring me? Are you informing me? Are you influencing me? Are you transforming me? What are you doing to me when I hear from you? That is the importance of having a brand voice, because that is what will separate you. There are a bunch of kids from Uganda, the ghetto kids, which I know you know about them. They've been dancing, and now through that dance, they've been different parts. They went to the World Cup, they've had collaborations with PSG, and they've just been having one endorsement taking it. And these kids are ghetto kids, some of them are orphans. A small dance group of 13 years old, 10 years old, 9 years old. But see what they've been able to do. Why? They built in public. They had a good sight. They were consistent in the way they look. They were consistent in what they were giving the world. They were consistent with their brand voice. Are you consistent with your sight? Are you consistent with your sound? Is it a case of you're this today and you're something else tomorrow? Haven't you noticed that the people that influence you are consistent? Even your presidential candidates have logos and identifiers that they wear. One of them wore black almost all through his campaign and up until now. One wears blue almost all through his business, his campaign, and his promotion. Why? They understand this very simple thing. That when, which is a marketing term, you need to see a message a minimum of 7 times before the mind recognizes it. So for me not to look different, I need to look the same all the time. So that when you see me, you say, I've seen this before. Your mind tells you you've seen this before. And you can say, yes, I know this person. You hold on to it. Secondly, they said the same thing, sounded the same, and delivered the same message all the time. A particular candidate delivered the same message all the time. Why? He understands the importance of repetition, because repetition gives birth to mastery. Repetition produces mastery. There is no point in you trying to change your message. It means that you're not consistent. It means that you're not trustworthy. It means that something, when you go this way, no. Stick to your message. Have a clear brand voice. Quickly, I'll go into number 3. Number 3 is sight, sound, taste. No, before I go to taste, let me go to smell. So your sight, your sound, your brand voice, your smell. Now you might think like, what is he talking about? Now let me give you a very quick hack, which I'm sure you will notice. Because the human mind senses things on these 5 different dimensions, they are triggers. And when the mind is good in recognizing patterns. When the mind recognizes a pattern, it tends to trust that pattern. I'll take it again. When the mind recognizes a pattern, it tends to trust the pattern. Now you realize that people that have leveraged a smell and smell from the way they smell to their culture, your culture smells. Because culture is your way of life. And people will not only see it, they will smell it. Just the same way you can smell, animals can smell people that are afraid. Animals can smell people that don't have confidence. That's the same way your competition, the market, can smell if you are the right person to do business with. Why? How can they do that? They do that through your culture. What's the culture of your brand? What is your way of life? What are your principles as a brand? You must have something. You must stand for something. You must stand for something. What are your principles as a brand? It's very important that you have principles. I'll go quickly because I know my time is fast spent. Then from your smell, you go to do what? Taste. Taste. What am I talking about taste? They say the taste of the pudding is in the eating. what's the experience of doing business with you? You want to grow global? You want to transcend borders? You can't take that old mindset of struggling, hustling, not being straightforward, not having a high level of integrity, not having a high level of quality, and you want to take that and meet people of quality around the world. You can't do that. It's not going to work. So one of the things you need to do is, like I said, build trust in yourself and build trust in others by building in public and improving on your quality. That is your brand taste. People would experience your brand through your quality. So you need to improve your quality. Why? Quality people attract other quality people. You become a person of quality by improving on your quality of your service, of your product, of your mindset, of everything that helps you build that brand of quality. So your taste is your brand experience. When I come in contact with you, I know that, yes, this is the brand for me. Finally, your touch. Touch is your brand personality. What's that vibe that you put? Are you a very happy person, lively person? That is what you're going to use to separate yourself. An introvert, fantastic. Are you leveraging on being an introvert? Or is it that you don't even have control of your emotions and your state and your being? What is your story? These things are important because the world comes in contact with your brand in these 5 dimensions. That is sight, sound, smell, taste, and touch. Touch is your brand personality. The world wants to feel that you are the right person to do business with. They love the way you go about things. They love your views on things. Why? Because when you don't say anything, it says a lot about you. So when your personality is that you are happy to build in public, you are taking life, people love you, people will do business with you because of your personality. That's your brand touch. The third most important thing for you to know when you are growing global is you must learn to sell, or you must be able to package and monetize or sell what you know. I'll take it again. You must be able to package and monetize or sell what you know. And that's the big gap a lot of us face. We do not know how to sell our expertise. We don't know how to sell our knowledge. We don't know how to sell the things that we have acquired over these years. And it's so funny because, like I said, we do not have trust with ourselves. So how can I sell what I know when I don't even trust myself that I know it well enough? You need to learn how to sell your knowledge because that is what the world wants from you. It's not about trying to compete with anybody. They will love you for who you are, but you need to learn how to sell and communicate the value that you carry. It's important. If you can't communicate the value that you carry, then you're not growing global. You are not growing global. So, 1, you need to build trust. 2, you need to build your brand. And 3, you need to sell your experience, your expertise, your skill sets to the world because that is what the world wants. The world wants you in its truest form. I tell people, excuse me, I tell people that visibility is the ability to uncover your originality and amplify your authenticity because the world wants your originality and your authenticity. Why is that important? It's important because they don't want another version of somebody they already know. They don't want the next Tony Robbins. They don't want another Tony Robbins. They want you. They don't want another Gary V. They want you. They don't want another Les Brown. They want you. They don't want another Oprah. They want you. They don't want another Jeff Bezos. It's fine. They want you. But how can they have you when you don't trust yourself enough to be able to package your knowledge and your experience and give it to the world? And why are you not doing that? Like I said, my son, you have been programmed and washed and brainwashed and made to feel that you're not good enough because you made some mistakes in the past and you don't trust yourself to do what you ought to do. And because of that, you can't produce at the level that you want to produce. And when you can't produce at the level that you want to produce, you know what happens? You can't attract quality people. When you can attract quality people, you know what happens? You don't have quality information. And when you don't have quality information, finally, you cannot execute at a quality level because you lack the information that would help you lack the people that help you get the right information. And with the right information, you can improve and have the right execution. You lack all these things because you do not have trust. Branding is building trust. So build trust today and grow global. Thank you.
All right. Emeka has something for us and is going to be introducing it to us in 60 seconds. Emeka, that was fire, like as usual, All right, you got the mic.
Okay, guys. So I talked about selling and packaging what you have, and I have a product. It's a webinar that I put together that will help you. It's going to help you identify how to put your knowledge, your experience together. It's going to show you the niches that are successful if you decide to switch lanes. Okay, so I think I have several skill sets and I need to move in this direction. It's going to show you what to do. It's also going to show you how to package it and put it together in a way that will help bless the world. So this, I'm sure that it's scrolling on your screen. You can see this. So go to this link, bit.ly/SYK webinar. So sell your knowledge webinar, SYK webinar. So click on it right now and get it. It's very affordable. It's very affordable. It's about just $5 because I don't want you to keep saying, oh, I don't have the money. I don't have the money. I don't have the money. No. It's very affordable. It's only $5. That's about 2,000 naira. Plus in CDs is ridiculous. Why? The essence is to help you. That is the essence. The essence is to help you grow global. I've shared it before. Build trust, build your brand, and sell your knowledge. Package your knowledge, learn how to package it. And this is the way that you can learn how to package your knowledge.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So, guys, you can hear that just $5. Listen, if you really want to grow global, you need to start thinking in Forex, not just Naira, right? There was a time we were going to do a training, so we actually charged in dollar. And someone reached out to me, an entrepreneur, and said, see, we are in Nigeria. Can we talk about Naira? And I said, I'm sorry. This product is not only for people in Nigeria. So that's why there is a dollar cost to it. So if you want to, then let's go ahead and do that. So I want to say thank you, Emeka. Thank you so much for bringing this on. You mentioned the sight, the sound, the smell, the taste, the touch, which is very, very, very important. You know, one of the things I tell entrepreneurs is the moment you have a brand name, you have a business name, what you are putting out there is a promise.
Yeah.
So you are saying 6 Sense Consulting. So the moment I sign an agreement with you, what I'm saying is so company will do so and so. So you are putting out a promise which you must fulfill, or else you contradict the brand that you are putting out there. It's very important. I really appreciate you. Thank you for taking time out to be with us tonight.
Thank
And
you. No
guys,
questions. I see that there are no questions.
I'm not certain. I didn't check the comment section. Do we have
Okay.
questions? Iwali Ewade, please let me check the back end. If we have questions, please let me know. I normally tell people that Coca-Cola do not sell Coke, they sell happiness.
Yeah.
Gucci do not sell clothes, they sell fashion, right? Louis Vuitton sells elegance. Tesla does not sell cars, right? They sell innovation. So people need to understand it. Tomorrow, I'm going to be teaching on how to attract money from people, or how to start business, simple ways of starting businesses. Because like you said, a lot of people have the skills. They know how to do some certain things, but okay, they said no question. All right, thank you, Ewade. So, but they do not know how to sell it. They do not know
Yeah.
how to package it, how to sell it. And it's a problem because people who do not even know as much as they do, they are making money. But they know that much and they are not making anything. Thank you very much one more time, Emeka.
Thank you.
And thank you to Oludaya. Oludaya has left the studio actually, but we want to say thank you to her for opening our mind to all these important things. You know, she spoke majorly on the mindset, because we understand the fact that you know, I said at a point that people go for retreats, they go for seminars, they go for summits, they go for conferences. And the truth is, one person finds this, they hear the same thing, but one person can maximize it and bring results. And the other person is wondering, I've been attending all conferences, but I'm not doing anything, I'm not getting anything out of it. It's the state of your mind, right? It's the state of your mind. So she has opened our mind to the mental capacity. But guess what? Tomorrow is going to be amazing, guys. Tomorrow is going to be amazing. I'm going to be teaching for 5 minutes, just teaching on how to make money, how to get money, how to attract money from people's pocket, and how to start businesses, just for 5 minutes. I'm going to do that. Then Funke O will come in. Funke O is the CEO of Funke O Company, right? She's going to be here. That's her. You can see her so gorgeous on the flyer. And Energetic EJ, we call her Energetic EJ because she brings in the energy. So tomorrow she's going to bring in the vibes, the energy, and all that. Tomorrow we are starting 7 p.m. So that we could have enough time. And because these people are outside the country, we run different time zones. So we want them to be able to maximize their time. And Sheyi Adbede is going to be in-house. She is just an hour behind us. He's in Ireland and he's going to be with us tomorrow also. So we have 3 speakers, and with my own 5 minutes, it's going to be an abundant session tomorrow, right? So I want to say thank you very much for joining us today. Wade, thank you for being there. Iwale, thank you. He's our technical guy. He's the back-end engineer, and he's an amazing person. So we'll be back here tomorrow. This is going to be on my YouTube page. And I want to say sorry to everybody that went to the IG, to the Instagram page and couldn't see something. But tomorrow we are going to live stream on Instagram by God's grace. But this will be on my page. The link will be in my bio, and you can always come back to watch it. So thank you very much. Let me see the comment we have. Thank you. Find your Kinu Abosede. Thank you. Apologies if I didn't call that very well. I'm sorry. Femi Farumbi, thank you so much. You stayed all through. Esther, thank you. Victor Adewale, thank you. I could see you. Thank you so much. And the brand elder from Kenya, thank you so much for staying all through. So Nigel Onos, thank you. And my pastor was here. My pastor was here during my session. You know, there's nothing that gives you more confidence like that. Amazing. And Ambassador Ivy Uyime King also was here. We want to say thank you. Thank you. Ambassador Ivy King is the wife of Dr. Von King, you know, and we always say the King lives on. Thank you for all you do, man. God bless you and God honor you. Thank you very much to the entire team, the volunteers on the Startup Conference. We'll meet again tomorrow. One more time. My name is Bolaji Babalola, and I sign out here tonight. Good night, guys.